Week 9 of the college football season has arrived. Do you realize we're about 10 weeks away from the national championship game at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa? Do you realize we're maybe a month and a half or so away before the start of the college bowl season? We are just hours away from one of the most anticipated games of this weekend, Ohio State, Penn State. But more important than any of those things that I mentioned, we are just one day away from the debut of the first Christmas movie on the Hallmark Channel, the first brand new Christmas movie of the season on the Hallmark Channel on Sunday. I can't wait. I'm telling you, I have been up all night handicapping. I got to get some rest because it's definitely affected me. A little too much caffeine, I think, a little too much handicapping. These are the things, if I hear that commercial one more time on the Hallmark Channel, which, what am I doing watching the Hallmark Channel in the first place? I got to get a life. I got to get out of this job. I got to retire. I've been doing this too long. Okay, let's talk about other things. Friday was an interesting day. Not a good day for Anthony Redd, I can tell you that much, because he had his 150-dime winner, number 7 out of 9, on Florida State against Boston College. I'm not exactly sure if Boston College is for real, but I know one thing. Florida State is really that bad, and Boston College is certainly on a roll. And he was on Florida State last night. Bad call by A-Red. Let's talk about some of the guys who are hot going into today's card. And two of those guys would be Tommy Brunson and Joey Juice. Tommy Brunson, who has today the second ever 150-dime play since he joined the site in September. And it's his underdog game of the year. It goes on the late afternoon card. He hit his first 150-dime play on Monday night with the Eagles over the Redskins. You got that for over half price off. Same thing goes today. And that coupon code is 150-dimer, 150-DIMER. Remember, he started here on the site with 6 straight 100-dime winners, including last Saturdays on Central Florida over Navy and Sundays with the Rams, 33-0 over Arizona. You got them all for over half price off as well. Meanwhile, Joey Juice, who I really feel strange calling him Joey Juice. It's Joe Crutel, Joey Crutel. They called him Joey Juice as a kid. It stuck as a nickname. Joe Crutel is one of the producers of the hit HBO show Ballers, which is currently filming its 4th season for the network. Show stars Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and Joe is played by Rob Cordell, the actor on the show. Joe is the guy who puts together all those cool cameos by the athletes on the show as well as one of the producers. He is a perfect 6 for 6 with his college football 100-dime releases. 6 for 6. Last Saturday, it was Notre Dame over Southern Cal. Today, number 7 in a row, North Carolina, Miami, of Florida. It goes at noon Eastern time. The first 6 you've got it for over half price off. Same thing goes today. And that coupon code is Juice, his nickname, Juice. This being Saturday, you know the drill. Each and every Saturday, I give you a money-saving discount coupon code that can potentially save you hundreds of dollars off your total purchase price. And today is no different. That coupon code is 24%, 24%, sing it after me, 24%. It's a mix and match coupon, which means it's good for any combination of picks and/or packages from your handicappers. The only stipulation, it's a one-time usage coupon, which means to maximize your savings, you got to put everything in your shopping cart at one time. Should you have any questions, you can always contact customer service. Not bad. I did that in 13.2 seconds. Let's move forward to your complimentary plays. Your first one is going to be Texas A&M, because I couldn't believe earlier in the week they were an underdog. I had to look at this game a couple of times when I handicapped it. I thought the Hallmark Channel was playing tricks with my mind. But I like the Aggies in this game. Listen, they have been an underachieving team, not because they're underachievers necessarily, but because they're not that great. But I like the way they played here lately. They came back. They got the job done at Florida. They played competitively at home in the loss to Alabama. This Mississippi State team, big deal. They beat Kentucky. They beat BYU. I had them against BYU as a top-rated 15-dime play. They beat BYU 35-10. They beat Kentucky 45-7 last week. They played those games in Starkville. What did they do in their 2 road SEC games? They lost 49-10 at Auburn. They lost 31-3 at Georgia. Now, granted, those 2 teams defensively, 2 of the top teams in the SEC and the country. Texas A&M isn't that good, but they're pretty damn good, and they have a damn good pass rush, and they're tough to run against. And that, I think, is going to give Nick Fitzgerald, the quarterback for Mississippi State, who really is the guy that gets that offense in gear, some problems here today. Now, you've got an A&M team that's 4-0 in College Station, starting the season 4-0, beating South Carolina, beating Arkansas in SEC action. Okay, they lost to Alabama. I understand that. The home team has won 4 straight in the series. This Aggie defense is tied with Clemson for the most sacks in the nation. They're also a top 10 team in terms of tackles for the loss. Now, Mississippi State has allowed the fewest sacks in the SEC, but you have to understand the way they play offense and the way they throw the ball. They are constantly just dumping the ball because Nick Fitzgerald is more apt to take off with the ball than stand in the pocket long because his protection collapses, his pocket collapses. That's one of the reasons that his average yards per pass attempt is right around 6.2 yards. Now, Texas A&M's passing game isn't anything to crow about either, but I do like A&M in this contest. I think it'll be a low-scoring game, and I do think Texas A&M can pull it off. The world's largest outdoor cocktail party in Jacksonville. It's Georgia in triple revenge against Florida, a team that has certainly had Georgia's number, but the Bulldogs are so clearly superior. Now, do I worry that the Bulldogs are coming off a bye? We have repeatedly seen this college football season, and you see it every single year. Teams that are fine-tuned, they come off a bye, and they're somewhat sluggish. But if there is an opportunity for the Bulldog to put the wood to somebody, it's today to the Gators. This Bulldog offense has scored 41 or more points in 4 of the past 5 games. You got a Gators team that's coming off 19-17 and 17-16 home losses to Texas A&M and LSU, respectively. Both teams, of course, are coming off byes. Florida has won 3 straight in 21 of the last 27 meetings in this series. So Georgia, hey, this is a big-time revenge game. This is a Georgia team that's very tough against the run. They have held 5 of their first 7 opponents to under 70 yards. Florida needs to be able to run the ball because you know Florida has all types of problems throwing the ball. You got a Florida team that averages about 169 yards a game rushing. Not great, but productive. You got a Georgia team that's number 4 in the nation in terms of run defense. 2.82 yards per carry giving up to running backs and holding them to about 82.1 yards per contest. You got a Georgia offense that moves the chains. 51% third down conversions. That's number 6 in the nation. You got 2 running backs, Nick Chubb, who's averaging 6.4 yards a carry, and name escapes me. Can't think of the other guy. Sorry, can't think of the other guy in the backfield doing this off the top of my head. I know he averages like 7.2 yards a carry, but I can't think of him. And then you got the freshman quarterback who's completing like 62% of his passes, and he's got great protection. He's got 12 touchdown passes. He's only been sacked 6 times on the season. So I think this is a game that Georgia steps up and delivers. Now, has Georgia played anyone great this season? No, not necessarily. But this is a must-win for Georgia, because this sets them up going down the road here for an ultimate matchup with Alabama. So I think Georgia delivers in this contest. Another game that I like today, just thinking here, looking at the card, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, I was going to look at the Kentucky-Tennessee game, but, you know, that is such a one-sided series. I like Kentucky, but, you know, Tennessee has been so bad. But this has been a one-sided series where Tennessee has won 31 of the last 32 games, covered 17 of the last 21. It's just so hard to back the Wildcats, even though they're at home, even though they're the better team, even though Butch Jones is going to get fired, even though the Volunteers suck. But my God, they've won 31 of the last 32 games in the series. How can you possibly bet on Kentucky with that type of lifetime history going against you? You know, that's just like fool's gold there, betting on the Wildcats. I just can't do it there in that particular spot. Instead, let's talk about the Notre Dame game against NC State. The Irish are a 7-point favorite at home. Here's the interesting thing about NC State. I ask you this. Riddle me this. Sounds like something out of the Batman TV show. Riddle me this. Who has NC State played this season, other than Louisville? Who the hell have the Wolfpack played? They have some very gaudy defensive statistics, but who have they played? They're coming off a bye that was preceded by a 35-17 win at Pittsburgh, a Pittsburgh team that had lost its starting quarterback a week earlier. Yes, they've won 6 straight games. They played 1 road game this season. They beat Florida State. We just saw Florida State's no good. We saw that again last night. Their biggest wins at home against Louisville, and they beat Syracuse at home. But Syracuse really hadn't started playing that well. They were playing their second straight road game the previous week. They played well and lost to LSU, and they gave NC State all they could handle. Who have they played? The Irish have definitely been peaking here for a while. They manhandled a Southern Cal team that's not as good as it was last year, but they manhandled Southern Cal last week, 49-14 at home. They won at Michigan State, 38-18. The same Michigan State team that took care of business and bushwhacked Michigan earlier this season on the road. They've won 5 straight. They're 6-1 on the season. They only lost by 1 at home to Georgia in week number 2. They're going to run the ball. And the Irish are going to run the ball. And NC State knows they're going to run the ball. That doesn't mean that NC State's going to be able to stop them running the ball. And I know NC State has the number 6 defense in the nation, giving up just 91.3 yards a game. But just because you've stopped other people doesn't mean you're going to stop a team that excels at running the ball and has an option quarterback that's done a great job at running the ball. Brandon Wimbush, 508 yards rushing, 3 times over 100 yards rushing. When your quarterback is that apt to run the ball that successfully, boy, that's a dangerous situation. So NC State can move the ball as well. I like Notre Dame in this contest, but I'll tell you what, let's consider this. I don't think Notre Dame loses that game today. I like Notre Dame minus the 7. My challenge to you, though, however, on this card is to find Notre Dame and put them in with a teaser with somebody else. Because that, to me, is a perfect opportunity to put Notre Dame in a teaser, taking down 6 points and hooking them up with somebody else. Put them in -1. Put them in a 2-team teaser. And as I look up and down this card here today, problem is I can't really say there's one other team that's just jumping off the board here. And I'm scanning the card once more here as I'm doing this video report for you. That's just begging me to put them in a teaser. No, I'm not going to take Georgia from 13 down to 7. That's a ridiculous spread. When I'm looking at a team to put in a teaser, I'm looking for somebody that's in that 6 to 9 to 10 point category and taking them down to a more manageable favorite. That's generally what I like to do in terms of a teaser. So I do like Notre Dame as a complimentary play, but I just can't tell you another team that I want to put them in a teaser situation. So again, your complimentary plays here, I like Texas A&M. I also like Georgia, and I like Notre Dame, and I would encourage you to go ahead and find a teaser-friendly team to put along with the Irish as well in that particular contest. Let's see, any other games here I told you to avoid? Kentucky, like the Plague and the Locusts. And another interesting game that I had handicapped, was also, let me just warn you about Virginia Tech. I'm looking at Virginia Tech minus the 16 playing at Roanoke today against Duke. Duke has played poorly here. I think Virginia Tech, if it wanted to, could mop the floor with the Blue Devils today. But I just wonder, does Virginia Tech simply go through the motions? Because, listen, Virginia Tech could possibly get caught looking ahead to Miami of Florida next week. So that could be a possibility. I looked at the West Virginia game against Oklahoma State today, and I thought the Mountaineers, that could be an interesting game as a home dog against Oklahoma State, an Oklahoma State team that was extended to overtime against Texas last week. I thought plus 7.5 points. I thought maybe playing the game over at 73. But you have to look at the weather. 50% chance of rain expected at kickoff, 90% chance of rain expected in the second half. That has me a little leery of leaning toward the over in that game. And also, since West Virginia is primarily a passing team and doesn't really have a ground game where Oklahoma State can run the ball effectively with Justice Hill, that has me getting off the underdog in that particular contest. So that has me leery of the side and the total in that particular game. So anyway, that's how I factored in the equation of that particular game. Again, I gave you my complimentary plays, Texas A&M, Georgia, Notre Dame, and I suggest you find a teaser partner to go dancing with the Irish. Good luck, guys, and I'll talk to you again on Sunday.